This week I've spent most of the week up on scaffolding outside of the manor, working on the very end piece. So when you first drive in the driveway, the first thing you see is the side of the manor. And I have been up on the scaffolding, scraping the paint off. And pretty much I've done that all week. That's all I've done this week. So I figured I would kind of show you where I've got to. And so you can see we're pretty close to getting the bottom half done. So let's go see my progress. So the plan had always been just to strip the paint around the door area. But when we looked at the condition of this paint, we decided it needed to be stripped too. So I have worked this week on stripping down the paint, and you can see there's a section behind the stairs here that I've still got to do once they're removed. But pretty much the rest of the area, apart from this one end, is now done. The interesting thing is that despite the fact that with the paint on it looked in terrible shape, when we've taken the paint off and scraped it off, underneath the wood is in amazing shape considering the age of the property. And you can see how the beveled edges and the wood have been made to look like sandstone, and the craftsmanship on this is just amazing. So in the next couple of days I'll have that section on the left completely stripped along with the window on the left, and it will be ready for paint. One of the most exciting things about the restoration of the end of the manor is that we are putting back the original balcony that used to be there, and these are the corbels that used to be underneath the balcony. You can see here the top where the railing would have been, and the corbels would have been below it. And we've taken them off because I'm going to strip them down and we're going to restore them and then put them back. Stay tuned to see lots more about our balcony in future episodes. But in the meantime, we've been working on getting all those tricky pieces of the fake brick and siding off, especially at the top of the manor. It's so tall that it's definitely a challenge to get up there. We've got some scaffolding. We're even going to have to rent a zoom boom to get some of those really high pieces so that we can get to them safely. And so this week we've continued to take out all those, or work on those tricky pieces so that we can get the full end completely clear, and then work on the top part and get that all painted as well. And the really exciting part is that these old fire escape stairs that have been on the end of the manor for so long, we're actually having moved. So this week they're going to be taken down, and we are going to be moving the steps to the back of the house so that the end of the manor can be seen without the steps in the way. This week our front door also began its transformation, and all the holes had been filled with wood filler, and it was now time to start sanding and get it really smooth and ready for paint. We chose a really lovely black for the front door, and it's actually in the historic collection of paints. And it was very popular back in the Georgian time to see black front doors on the beautiful Georgian architecture. And so we chose this black, and with the brass accessories that we're going to be adding, it's going to look really fantastic. One of the things I love most about restoring the manor are the treasures and the discoveries we make. And this week we made a really cool discovery about the hinges on our front door. Now, when we first looked at them, they were so covered in years and years of paint that you could barely even see the hinge. They were in such bad shape that Stephen and I even had a conversation about whether we should go and source some new hinges from another old property that we could use instead. But Stephen decided that he wanted to see what was underneath all the old paint. And so we soaked them in paint stripper, and then we scraped off all the paint, and what we discovered underneath was really cool, because engraved into the hinges was actually the name of the company that had made them. And what we discovered was that it said T&C Clark's patent, and they're a company that is actually from Wolverhampton in the UK, and they produced these hinges and they've come all the way from the UK many years ago, and they're now on our front door. And so now we've cleaned the hinges up, we've put them back on the front door, and that they are going to stay there now as part of the history of the house. So the front door has had its first coat of paint, and it's now waiting for the second coat of paint, its trim, and the brass accessories. But I just love the contrast of the paint that we've used on the side of the house, which has that sandstone color to it, and the black. It doesn't matter where the sun is in the manor, Hendrix will find it. He is a sun lover, he's a sun worshipper. And so he finds the sun in the house and he makes himself very comfortable. And then when the sun moves, he moves. Thanks for joining us on our latest adventures, and we'll see you next week on the next episode of the Lady Smith Manor Diaries.